So what are some of the ideas Choke has about us? Choke believes that knitters have absolutely nothing better to do.
Yeah, we don't.
We are all knitting because we have no law. Our existences are so sad and lonely and mundane that playing with string is a relief.
It ain't? It is.
Knitters don't have friends. Knitters never leave our homes. We don't date. And we would certainly never have an opportunity to engage in a bit of a blanket drill, if you catch my drift.
Oh, yeah.
My apologies to the single among you who did not know that taking up knitting was the death of all. Choke believes that all knitters are either grandmothers in rocking chairs or 20-something young hipsters cashing in on a fad. I don't know what Choke thinks is wrong with my grandmother, but I don't want to hear anything more about how what we are doing is not your grandmother's knitting anymore. In the words of Lisa at Rosie's Yarn Cellar in Philadelphia, stop insulting my grandmother.
You know.
She was a fine woman and an excellent knitter, and for the record, it is my grandmother's knitting. Since the invention of knitting, which was in about 1000 AD, we aren't quite sure because it's not like the cell phone where somebody went, great idea, let's get that guy's name. This is going to be big. Since then, what the first knitter did and what you do today, nothing has changed. Pull fiber loop through fiber loop using stick. That's it. It is not the new yoga. It is not the new black. It doesn't need a sound bite to make it cool. And the next time some giggling little 12-year-old reporter asks me why I think knitting is back.
Don't ever
left. I'll often say it. It never left. I have stash older than you. Choke believes that knitting is a waste of time and grossly inefficient. This is a really interesting one because it speaks to the complete commercialization of our society in less than 100 years. 100 years ago, it was very important that everyone in your family had a hat so they didn't freeze to death. Very important. It was considered extremely wasteful to buy one. You were expected to knit it, and your efforts were considered work, and important work that helped keep your family independent. Now, in less than 100 years, you still need for everybody in your family to have a hat so they don't die. But you're expected to go to the store and buy it. Hats serve the same purpose. But in just a few generations, which is a blip on the map of human history, we've managed to take knitting and basically all handwork and turn it from work into an invalid leisure activity. 100 years ago, buying something you could make was considered wasteful. Now making something you could buy is considered wasteful. I am not convinced this is a step in the right direction. Choke also believes that knitters are unfamiliar with technology. Little do they know. Knitters are all over technology. We're the largest users of blog lines, which is really interesting considering that I hear that there are blogs about other things.
Like what? Knitting? Really? Crochet? Crochet!
Who knows? We all, by this point, probably know how to take a picture of a sweater with a digital camera and email it to a friend to ask them what the AG double hockey sticks is wrong with that. We keep track of our stash on Blackberries. use pattern charting software, or we have rigged Excel to do it for us.
That's right.
And we're a pretty formidable online force with pretty awesome communication skills. How many of you read blogs?
Woohoo!
How many of you write a blog?
Not anymore.
How many of you found your community online with knitters?
Yes.
Yeah. You're us. We are wired.
Yeah.
Knitting bloggers are actually quite dangerous. I don't know why people don't think more about this, but we're a particularly volatile bunch.
You got that right.
We have watching knit bloggers communicate is a little bit like watching a flock of birds. You know how you can watch birds and they'll all be flying along together and then all of a sudden they just veer left and all they clapotis.
Where's your scarf?
Mine's at home.
Worries me. The bloggers are dangerous because they're like journalists. They have a big audience, but they have no rules. And no boss. And no editor. And yet people still let us write things down. Choke has some gender hang-ups about knitting.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Choke believes that all knitters are women.
Ooh.
If pressed, Choke will admit that there are a few men who knit, but the